What's up guys, Woo here, back again with another Division 2 build video guys, and today I'm bringing you a highly situational but also highly effective skill build for PvE. Been using this for a while and I really enjoy utilising this build in any team scenario, and especially running with like-minded skill builders, because this build is pretty crazy. As I said, it's situational, yes, but once it's rocking and rolling, guys, the damage output is crazy, it really is. And also 10-second skills. That can be a little bit less from time to time, you know, this game works, but yeah, this is a very, very good build, guys. And I recommend you put this together and test it in PvE, heroic content, and guys, yeah, you won't look back. It's a really good stellar build. So if you do enjoy this build video, you know what to do, thumbs doodle. That genuinely helps me and the channel, guys, and of course the video, so thumbs doodle. And yes guys, if you're new to the channel, drop the woo bomb on the sub button, ding the bell to be notified when I upload my shizzle. Guys, let's move this. Peeps, this is my Firefly build for PvE content. And guys, it's so good, but also so situational. I've tried it solo, it fares well, it fares pretty well. In a group synergy, this is where this build will shine, because you're just elevating so much damage with this build, and especially in difficult content, guys, you're going to really see the benefits in a group with this build. Legendary content, yes, of course, you're going to see some nice benefits. So guys, check this build out. I'm using Demolitionist specialization. I feel for this it is go-to because of that extra explosive damage. I feel that helps, and of course the awesome super duper weapon, which is your grenade launcher, is fantastic, and I love this in PvE. It blows shit up. So guys, yeah, just use it. But Demolitionist is my go-to, and also that 5% damage to targets out cover to your teammates also helps. Now I'm rolling with 4-piece hardwired, which is kind of unusual nowadays, because you either see 3-piece hardwired or you will see Eclipse Protocol. That's kind of the way forward. However, I've tried a bit of an old school build, and old school is still the good school because you can garner so much damage from this setup. So guys, back to what I'm doing best, and that is skill builds, and I love skill builds. So 0 offensive, 0 defensive, 6 utility, and 11 utility attributes. Now this is 726k armor, 286.2k health, and of course 6 sexy skill tiers. Let's go for the build. Okay guys, we'll start with the high end. Now, China Light Industries Corporation is on the mask, and that's 15% explosive damage, which is key. It really is, guys, it's key for the build to get that extra explosive damage. And what would also be good, again, depends how you want to set this build up, but if you wanted some extra explosive damage, then bear in mind you could use 2-piece Grupo. That will give you that extra 15% explosive damage, which is great, but still then you are taking away that hardwired 10-second Firefly and 10-second Seeker, so that's something to bear in mind. But you're going to get some more damage. However, me personally, I like that 10 seconds because I want to get my skills back quicker so I can deal more damage over time. That's my opinion. But still, I like, and it's a must, guys, it must that you have that China Light Industries Corporation for that explosive damage. And this is a near god sausage roll. You get 10% skill damage, 11.9% skill haste, and 11.6% skill haste mod. Now guys, with this, again, with the build, and every piece you need skill damage, skill haste. There's no status effects for this build. You're not using the Vile Mask and none of that crap. You're using just skill damage, and that's the way forward on the build. So guys, the second high end is the knee pads, and that is Wyvern Wear 10% skill damage, which guys, it's key. It is key whether you have 1-piece explosive damage, 1-piece skill damage. It's kind of key, guys. It's irrelevant where you put it, other than, again, the chest piece and the backpack, but still, get him on the build because you're just going to elevate the damage. So just, it's common sense, really. Get it on there. With this, you can see, guys, it's God Roll, Skill Haste, and Skill Damage. The first piece of Hardwired will go through the holster. And if you're not too sure what Hardwired does, 2-piece is going to give you 15% Skill Haste. The 3-piece is 15% Skill Damage, 30% Repair Skills. And the 4-piece talent is Feedback Loop. Whenever you use or cancel a skill, your other skill's cooldown is automatically reduced by 30 seconds, while increasing total skill damage and repair by 10% for 20 seconds. Feedback Loop can occur once every 20 seconds. With this, guys, it is a 10-second skill build. That's it. You don't have to use the skills that I'm using, that's for sure. I've put this together because I wanted to really try this variant of the Firefly, and it works. It works well. It's I'd say the second best Firefly skill variant, which when we go through the skills I'll explain why, but it works well on this setup, it really does. Now, guys, attributes, as I've said, skill damage all the way, guys. That's what you need as your attributes on this setup. Now the gloves, which is the second piece hardwired, guys, again, it's skill damage all the way home. Then we'll go for the backpack. The backpack, again, is hardwired, skill damage and skill haste, which is nice, and the talent short circuit. It decreases feedback loop cooldown from 20 seconds to 10 seconds. Yeah, guys, that's nice. That is, again, that 10-second. Awesome. Guys, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, you get it now. Awesome cooldown. And that's what you need, any build. If you can go on that 10-second cooldown, that's nice because you can spam your skills quicker. And it works really well on this build, that's for sure. And then we have the chest piece. The chest piece, again, is hardwired and it's skill damage and a max 12% skill haste, which dropped for me in PvE heroic content. This dropped. Happy days. I like this, guys. It really does. And that's something I've been searching for. If I get another 2 of these, then I'm in heaven. So, positive reinforcement. That is increases feedback loop, skill damage and repair bonus from 10% to 25%. So that's an extra 25% skill damage every 20 seconds. It's as simple as that. And that's why this is key on the build. Really key. So guys, make sure you have the chest piece. By all means, you can test out other pieces of gear. You can try glass cannon for extra damage, but you are squishy. There are other talents you can use to get some nice damage. Kinetic momentum is also a really good option, but for this build I've opted for the chest piece, again to synergize as the 4-piece build. Now guys, that's the gear. Let's go through the weapons. Now I'm using 2 weapons which I switch quite often, and they are the Harmony. The Harmony is your best in slot skill build weapon. It has to be. It has to be because of the talent. So you can see, guys, don't worry too much about the attributes. It's all about the talent perfectly in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. So guys, potentially that's an extra 40% skill damage and 40% weapon damage. So why would you not use this? It's a really good talent. The weapon, for some people, it is highly situational and very awkward to use, but for me, I don't mind this. I can use this weapon, but I know it's not for everyone. But it's nice to have this as your secondary or your primary on the build. Mod-wise, critic chance, critic damage, and critical hit chance. No, sorry, rounds. There you go. The secondary is the surge, and I use this quite a lot. I like this. And the surge, again, guys, look at the rolls. They aren't good. They aren't good at all. I've had 3 or 4 of these drop, and they've all been trash, in all fairness. But it's not about the damage I'm doing with that. It's all about the talent, and that's what makes it shine. And that is Perfect Spike. Headshots grant 25% skill damage for 15 seconds. Again, 25% skill damage on a skill build is just awesome. And that is something I recommend on any skill build, is try and get Spike, Perfect Spike, as your secondary or your primary weapon. That extra skill damage pays dividends on any build. Mods, critic chance, critical chance, and lastly, of course, it's rounds. Now, the third weapon, which is the sidearm, don't use it, guys, and I just put in whatever I've got. It depends on the mission. Depends what I'm doing, in all fairness. So if we matchmake and we end up in a mission with all the, again, heroic directives on, then what will happen? I want to use a weapon that has more bullets in the mag, and this one's got in sync on, so yeah, guys, I'll have it equipped. That's, again, that's for me. But again, it's not really, it's not really anything to worry about if you don't have this, if you don't have the Liberty or whatever, or you can use this one. Guys, it really doesn't matter. But again, I use this. I like to start the mission with this, again, for the extra bit of skill damage at the start of the mission. Skills, guys, what the build is all about. So with this, I've opted for Cluster Seeker Mine, and I know it's situational, and I know it's a little bit awkward, and sometimes, again, for example, you get 10 cluster mines, and only 2 will hit a target. They'll only connect. Highly frustrating, we know that. Sometimes you'll get 5 or 6 connects, sometimes no connects. So yeah, it is something, again, to sit back and think about on this build. Now, I've opted for this because of the high cooldown, well, the 27-second cooldown. I want to make it 10 seconds, and because they deal 3 million damage per cluster. So that's why I've opted for this, but you can choose whatever you wish. So there's no dead set what you need. This is what I'm using, and I find it useful on the build. See, guys, it's 3 million damage, which is nice. This can only be bettered by having 2-piece Gruppo on the build. That will give you an extra 15% explosive damage, and will get you around about 3.2 million just above, and that's what you want for some really high carnage. So mod-wise, cluster mines, a near max damage, and a near max damage again. Now, the first skill, which is what the build's all about, is the Firefly Burster. The Burster Firefly attaches explosive charges to targets that detonate if two are in close proximity, and that's, again, another reason why I'm using Demolitionist, because I want to increase that damage, that explosive damage, and that's why, again, I'm using the Cluster Seeker Mines, because it pairs well with Demolitionist. So this is great. The 16.3 second cooldown, however, guys, this is a 10-second Firefly. Due to the build, just how the build's set out, the talents on the chest piece, and more importantly the backpack, will make this a 10-second Firefly Burster. Really nice, it's really useful, but again, guys, I did find it situational. So when there's only one enemy left, this is a redundant skill. It really is, and it's highly frustrating because, again, sometimes you want your skills to do the work. So that's where you look at your secondary skill, and for me, it's the Cluster Seeker Mines to pump out some more damage. But when it comes to, again, a cluster of enemies, and you see 3, 4, 5 enemies, and you can chuck this out, the damage output is just insane. And this is where, again, the situational piece comes into it, because once you have multiple enemies with the Firefly Burster, it will shred. It will do so much damage, and you won't look back. But again, if there are minimal enemies, 1 and 2s, then you won't really see much benefit. And again, this is where you'd probably change the skill around and see what other skill would benefit this build. For me, situational, but when it works, it really sings and shines. Mod-wise, guys, simply speed. I want to get the speed out as quickly as possible. I don't need any skill haste because it's a 10-second burst of Firefly. Damage, again, is key. And max targets, just to increase it so I can hit more enemies and potentially do more damage. And guys, finally, let's take a look at the stats. Again, don't worry too much about the weapon damage because it'll be your skills that do the talking on the build. So let's just take a look at the skill haste. Again, skill haste is 84%. The good thing is, guys, you know, I'm rolling with hardwired, so skill haste is nearly irrelevant on the build. It really is, because of those 10-second skills, and just makes it sing and shine, and definitely gives you more bang for your buck. It's as simple as that. So this works for me, a dream. And guys, check it out. And again, situational, but it's super good once you get the hang of it. So guys, I'll just quickly show you the lovely, again, these are just easy enemies, but I just want to show you what the Firefly does very briefly. So again, we'll just hit some enemies. Let's detach one more now. Okay, we'll just hit those. And so I've gone for a bit of extra speed on there as well, which is nice. And then what will happen is you see the damage there, guys. The damage output is quite nice. And again, 10-second Firefly, which is nice. Again, just pop my Seeker Mines, and that will do the rest of the work. And that's not creating any more bonus damage through, of course, Perfect Spike or In Sync. It's just simply what's happening on the build. But I like this, guys, I really do. It's a good fun build. It's very situational, of course. It does a lot of damage, and it's something that I would recommend definitely in a group scenario, not solo. I've tried it solo, I put some solo footage in there, but still, it's good, but there are much better out there. As you've seen with that Firefly, and I'll chuck him again. What will... Typical testing problems. Right, I'll show you again. So, there he is. So, if it just connects with one enemy, nothing happens. It'll just tick. It'll just tick, and that's it. And what you need, again, you need multiple enemies to create that divide, that line that will create that boom when they get in close proximity. That's why it's nice to have, again, something like this that does the explosive damage that really helps you push through NPCs. So guys, hope you enjoy the build. This is something fun, something a little bit different, and guys, it does work. In a group, it's great. Solo, it's okay. And let me know in the comment section how you're running in PvE and what do you think of the build. Guys, see you in the next one. Peace.